Happy Monday, traders. It is 8:02 a.m. Chicago time on Monday, the 24th of May, 2021. This is it, the last week of May. Sell in May and go away. Next Monday is Memorial Day here in the U.S. The markets are on holiday, which means that for the futures, we are open till 12 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. Remember that. Today, we are down to, up to 1,999th episode. We're celebrating 2000th episode, as I put in the live chat, with a prize giveaway from Edge Clear. And the number of entries has been pretty insane. So with the team here has decided to change it from 3 prize drawings for Edge Pro X for 3 months to 6 prize drawings, just to increase the probability of members or followers winning. So we'll do this live tomorrow. There's a live stream at 12 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, and the entries have to be in by 11:30 Eastern U.S. time. So again, I'll remind you later in the broadcast, if you have not entered, just go to ft71.com/TB2000. Again, the prize drawing has been increased from 3 free subscriptions for 3 months to 6 free subscriptions for 3 months. Let's hop in. I want to remind you that derivatives trading is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Here's the Convergence Trading pre-market summary sheet. And right now, we're looking at a market that has done nothing but push higher. The S&P, the NASDAQ, and other markets have stayed ahead of VWAP for the overnight session. Risk on sentiment across the board. My quote board is all positive, with crude leading the pack. Crude trading at 64.87 on the July contract, up 2.06%. Silver is up 1%. Silver's trading at 27.78, up 29.5 cents. And the NASDAQ, which has basically worked its way from gapping down overnight last night to being well within the range and the upper bound of balance from last Thursday, which was around 13,495, something like that. And so that's where we stand. The laggard today is the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar is down 0.13%, so that's not much, 11.5 cents. The cable, the yen are down. The Bund is up, so it's green across the board. Gold is up $2.10, trading at $18.79.20. You probably saw that crypto got beat up over the weekend a little bit, but is now up. I managed to buy a little more Ether last night on the cash market, so we'll see how that goes. But Ether's up 62.5 in the futures, and Bitcoin's up 23.10 in the futures, and that's about all there is. The S&P, 148,000 contracts traded, about 62% of the inventory is long. We've got about 30 now at this point. It looks like maybe, 33, 34 points with the point of control at 4171.75. So the point of control is shifted up, and we have about 35 points of range. As far as what's on deck, really, there's not much. Banks are doing really well. They're expecting to do very well. The headline today was big banks are looking for a rebound of credit card revenue. Credit cards are very, very, very profitable part of the business for banks. And with the drop in restrictions and the end of stimulus checks to pay the bills, they expect the credit card industry to pick back up. Again, that's a very profitable portion of the banking sector. So that's where that stands. The market's still paying attention to inflation and yields. We sold off a little bit on Friday, but recovered pretty well so far. So that's that. And looking at what was expected on Friday, here's the plan. The primary plan on Friday was to pull back to 41.55 and then push higher into through 78 into 88.91. 91 being key up there. It did not quite do that. The secondary scenario is to push the overnight high. Push into 78, and then sell off into 55 and go sideways. But by the time we opened, the market had already moved a fair amount. There was a bit of a drive on the open. So let's jump into the review segment. Here's what actually happened. Okay, so this is somewhat of a scenario 2, except scenario 2 was opening somewhere down here during the trader bite and took a quick pop. So scenario 2 is looking for to open down here somewhere, push 78, come back down, push 55, and then consolidate for the rest of the session. So what we had is a higher push. We went into 85 and we dropped all the way down to 47. So the range was wider than what I had anticipated, and that's okay, that's cool. The thing to note, though, is we left a double distribution profile. If I turn on the mid and VWAP lines, you'll see that the mid line is 41.66. VWAP's at 64 is where we left it. This area here, 66.67, right in here, this box, so to speak, right here is really important for today. It also represents a composite low volume node, and it is the last frontier before we go into this high volume block, which runs from 83 down into 69, and this was the MC point of control, and now it's become a very blunt. Look at how straight it is. This area here represents a lot of value to the market because we have a fair amount of volume, but some things have shifted recently. But this area here, the 83, which moved then to 80, which moved to 77, 72, and now 55, the point of control kept shifting down. What this is saying is the market is loving this area. Given all inputs, this is where the market perceives value to be. So today, from my notes from the Convergent Trading live head trader channel, I had outlined what's expected for today, and I said, note that the Friday VPOC, the point of control of Friday, right here, 41.55, is on top of the week's VPOC. So the whole point of control for the week was right at 55, 41.55. And this has become the MC point of control in the area. So 55 is now a very important price, and we're above it. Again, this MC point of control shifted from 83 to 80 to 72 to 155, and we've closed right on top of it on Friday, and we've moved away. We've moved through the low volume node at 65, 67, and we're trading up here at 76 in the upper distribution. So we are back at this big meaty area, which, by the way, was rejected on Friday. This is rejection here. We pushed right into it. We found our sellers at 85. We went to the other side of 83, found our sellers at 85, and came back off. and broke through the 69.67 and remained beneath there. You can see a very clean, clear support resistance line here. Should be very clear to you. So, I mean, I put a stock zone there. There's that stock zone. This is an important area. So when I was doing my homework last night, the market was still underneath and now it's above. This is the line of the sand in the sand today. So pay attention to this price. We're opening in this high volume node this morning on a Monday, expecting it to be a choppy area. So this week is special because Memorial Day is on the 31st, next Monday. So there's likely to be, so we're going into the summer season here. There's likely to be some important kind of work that needs to be completed before Friday. Friday is likely to be a pretty choppy, early kind of quiet day, but it also represents end of month. It's not end of quarter, it's end of month. So again, next Monday is Memorial Day. It's a holiday. We're coming into today with a market that is fighting, that has fought the lower prices and regained this MC point of control area, or this high volume node, as you see here. That's the big thing that has happened. Again, the delta is moving with price again. The delta seems to be orderly. There seems to be less hedging maybe that's going on, because we've had a month and a half or so of prices moving higher and the delta moving lower. And that didn't make much sense, but it looked like it was hedging outside positions. As the market was moving up, it seemed like the futures were being used to hedge positions, using, the efficient use of capital in futures is a big thing because of leverage, right? So we tested up to 41.85 and then closed within a few ticks of Thursday's close, watching 67 above and 47 below. These are the key areas for today. Volume on Friday was very good, very solid, 1.2 million contracts or so. Coming into today, here's what we've done. We've gapped down. We tested lower again to 41.42. And then we have these buyers coming in during the Asian session. And then once Europe opened, it was a little bit choppy, but from there it was higher. So the bias is long. Market's relatively strong this morning, relatively. And so that's where that stands. What we saw last week, again, is rejection of lower prices, and we're seeing that against Friday's action. So that's where we are. 150,000 contracts have traded, a multi-distribution profile. It's kind of choppy. The point of control is very prominent, but we also have this area down here. We have another area down there. It's not. It looks to me like active price discovery, meaning they're checking prices and then they keep moving that point of control up. So market has not found balance. However, given where we're open, I'm going to say it again. Given where we're opening today, I expect a two-way fight. It might push early directionally, but I expect a two-way fight at the open today. And again, it is Monday. In terms of the big picture, I like to look at the composite here. Here's where we are. So if I walk this profile, check out this black line is the MC point of control for this region. What we did is we gapped up on the 2nd of April, the first trading day of April, or the second trading day of April. And so from the 2nd of April, we gapped up. So that starts us off on a new micro composite. That's what MC stands for. And then if we look at how this point of control has migrated, you can see it kind of floating around the 70s area and then shifting down on Thursday. And then Friday, we closed right on top of it. So what Friday looked like is a test of this high volume area and then a return to the MC point of control, almost on the dot to the tick. And then what we ended up last week with is a very prominent point of control at 41.55. So this is the big magnet in the area. And then we have this resistance above us. We poke through the 78.25. And as I talked about, we have a W formation here with a higher low. So we had a low, higher low, and the pivot point was 78.25. And that's why Friday's primary scenario was for a push higher, which we did get, but we didn't stabilize and push through there. So today, I'm looking for that 41.55 to well, 67, 66, and then 55 to act as support. I'm looking for it to push through the 85 and start working its way towards 200, which is not far from here, just 25 points. Okay, you can see also that the delta is stabilizing down below. And the volume is pretty strong, relatively strong. So there's pretty good opportunity, in my opinion, of in terms of getting good action on the market. Looking at the heat map here, this is Edge Pro X. We're giving away 6 subscriptions of this tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. We're seeing this this big block sitting right here. You can see that 41.84 has 377 contracts offered, and approximately 300 of it is a single block. Need to pay attention to that area. The prior day's HOD, high of day, has an offer in it, causing this to be darker, but it's not a single block, so that's likely not to hold. So those are the next prices above, and below us it's clear. I mean, there's not much in terms of large blocks. Again, this is using MBO data or market by order data to see inside of these orders. The delta is falling. The delta has been falling from the peak, but we still have a positive delta on the session. Looking at the volume imprint, the market is doing a good job pushing through and lifting, and you can see there are blueprints throughout. This is a 1 tick by 8 point figure chart, but you can see that there's volume nicely pushing higher on the push up. So until that reverses, I have to lean long coming into today. Okay, so and then overall the multi-day profile, nice little W shape there. The multi-day profile shows that overall we're accepting higher value. So this is, see how it's kind of shifting up. Friday saw us having point of controls overlapping each other at 41.55, and now we're moving value higher. You can see the blue region is moving higher, slightly higher. So we'll see how it does today. I want to remind you again, there's a drawing tomorrow, at 12 p.m. Eastern. Now we're going to move into our expectations for today. Let me set that chart up. Okay, so what are we looking for today? On the primary scenario, which is green, we're looking for the inventory is long, about 63% or so. Let me double check that. Yeah, it's about 63% long. Not huge, but relatively decent. I expect an open auction that pulls back. We're opening in range in the upper distribution of Friday. I expect us to pull back, a potential test of 66, 67, right? We talked about this, 66, 67. I expect support. I'm looking for a push through the 78 quarter, and then a move towards the overnight high. Let's turn that on. The overnight high is at 77, and looking forward to challenge Friday's 85 for a run into 91, which was Friday's target. If we get to 91, we're likely to hold steady, consolidate here. If we end up pushing through the 91, then 200 becomes the next key area, the figure. But I don't have very high expectations for a push to 4,200 today. Although last Monday was a surprise, right? It had an open drive. Secondary, open auction in range, push higher, unable. It's just unable to get through the 80 to 83 zone. It gives up, gives us a similar situation as Friday, finds sellers, comes back to the 66, 67, and drops into the 55 area and consolidates down here before bouncing back up into the close. It is not likely to push Friday's low. Friday's low down here at the 46.50 or whatever it was, 46.47. I think it was 47. Let's see. Friday's low is at 47. I'm not expecting it to push Friday's low, but the areas to pay attention to below are obviously 66, 67, 55, beneath that 47. Those are the two key scenarios. So we're opening in range. We're opening above the low volume node in the upper distribution of Friday, relatively bullish. But the question is, does it battle this 80 to 83 area and fail again, or does it push through? If it pushes through, then a lot of the volume from Friday, and there was good volume on Friday, a lot of the volume on Friday is likely to cover, and it is likely to then quickly push to 41.91 and then 4,200 beyond there. The context supports both plays pretty well. We might see resistance again. We might see a fight. We might see a top ahead of the 85 or around the 85 because of this composite high volume zone that we have. We have this really important area we're trading in, but if it pushes through, it is likely to force a lot of hands, a lot of shorts to cover, and if they do, looking for a run of 41.91 relatively quickly, and potentially a test of 4,200. But 41.91 becomes the extended target, and my job is to see if it pulls back, how well the pullback performs, and if it turns around and starts pushing higher, then I'm looking for an area to get long with clear risk with a target of 41.91. That's the key play for today, and of course you got scenario 2 as well. Anyway, make sure you enter the drawing, and hopefully you'll attend tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern for a live spinning of the wheel to select our 6 winners. We'll draw 9 winners or 9 names from the wheel. Make sure you've contributed yours. Go to ft71.com/TB2000, and then we'll do the drawing live just for fun and also so that everybody can see that we're not picking favorites, that it's randomized. Good luck.